Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Man Collections, and today I decided to do another book reading video, but this is going to be a Christmas one since Christmas is almost here, and I brought my little cousin here to read.
My name is Riley.
And she's going to be helping me hold the book.
And read it.
And read it, yes. And I'll read some and then she'll read the rest. Okay. Hold on.
The book is The Polar Express.
Yes. There you go. Alright, Alright. I'm going to let her read this one.
On Christmas Eve, many years ago, I lay quietly in my bed. I did not rustle the sheets. I breathed slowly and silently. I listened for sounds, a sound a friend had told me I've never heard, the ringing bells of Santa's sleigh. There is no Santa, my friend has insisted, but I knew he was wrong. Late that night, I did hear some sounds, though not of the ringing bells. From outside came the sound of a hissing steam and squeaking metal. I looked through my window and saw a train standing perfectly still in front of my house.
And here you can see the artwork right there. All right. It was wrapped in an apron of steam. Snowflakes fell lightly around it. A conductor stood at the open door of one of the cars. He took a large pocket watch from his vest, then looked up at my window. I put on my slippers and robe. I tiptoed downstairs and out the door. All aboard! The conductor cried out. I ran up to him. Well, he said, are you coming? Where? I asked. Why, to the North Pole, of course, was his answer. This is the Polar Express. I took his outstretched hand and he pulled me aboard. And there's a picture of the train right there. Okay.
The train was filled with other children, all in their pajamas and nightgowns. We sang Christmas carols and ate candies without nut centers was white as snow. We drank hot cocoa as thick and rich melted chocolate bars. Outside, the lights of town and the village flickered in the distance as the Polar Express raced northward.
There's the hot chocolate. Soon there was no more lights to be seen. We traveled through cold, dark forest where lean wolves roamed, and white-tailed rabbits hid from our train as it thundered through the quiet wilderness. And there you can see the wolves right there.
We climbed mountains so high it seemed as it would scrape the moon, but the Polar Express never slowed down. Faster and faster we ran along, rolling over peaks and through villages, like a car on a roller coaster. And by the way, guys, this is my first video, so let me know if I'm doing good.
All right, you're doing good. The mountain turned into hills, the hills to snow-covered plains. We crossed a barren desert of ice, the great polar ice cap. Lights appeared in the distance. They looked like the lights of a strange ocean liner sailing on a frozen sea. There, said the conductor, is the North Pole. And as you can see right there, you get to see the factory.
The North Pole, it was a huge city standing along at the top of the world, filled with factories where every Christmas toy was made. At first, we saw no elves. They were gathering at the center of the city. The conductor told us that's where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas. Who receives the first gift? We all asked. The conductor answered, we will choose one of you.
That's some nice artwork. Look, shouted one of the children, the elves. Outside we saw hundreds of elves. As our train drew closer to the center of the North Pole, we slowed to a crawl. So crowded were the streets with Santa's helpers. When the Polar Express could go no farther, we stopped and the conductor led us outside. Look how many elves there are.
Yeah. All these little red things are the elves right here.
Yeah, if you can't see that, but anyway. There you go.
We pressed through the crowd to the edge of the large open center, our circle. In front of us stood Santa's sleigh. The reindeer were excited. They pranced and pranced, ringing the silver sleigh bells that hung from their harness. It was a magical sound like nothing I've ever heard. Across the circle, the elves moved apart, and Santa Claus appeared. The elves cheered wildly. He marched over to us and pointed to me and said, let's have this fellow here. He jumped into his sleigh. The conductor handed me up. I sat on Santa's knee, and he asked, now, what would you like for Christmas?
Santa with his reindeer. I knew that I could have any gift I could imagine, but the thing I wanted most for Christmas was not inside Santa's giant bag. What I wanted more than anything was one silver bell from Santa's sleigh. When I asked, Santa smiled. Then he gave me a hug and told an elf to cut a bell from a reindeer's harness. The elf tossed it up to Santa. He stood holding the bell high above him and called up, "The first gift of Christmas." There he goes. First bell of Christmas. First gift.
A clock struck midnight as the elves swore their approval. Santa handed the bell to me, and I put it in the bathrobe pocket. The conductor helped me down from the sleigh. Santa shouted out the reindeer's names and cracked his whip. His team charged forth and climbed into the air. Santa circled once above us and disappeared in the cold, dark polar sky.
As soon as we were back inside the Polar Express, the other children asked to see the bell. I reached into my pocket, but the only thing I felt was a hole. I had lost the silver bell from Santa's sleigh. "Let's hurry outside and look for it," one of the children said, but the train gave a subtle lurch and started moving. We were on our way home, and there's a picture of the kids.
It broke my heart to lose the bell. When the train reached my house, I sadly felt the other children. I stood at my doorway and waved goodbye. The conductor said something from the moving train, but I couldn't hear him. "What?" I yelled. He cupped his hands around his mouth. "Merry Christmas!" he shouted. The Polar Bear Express let out a loud blast from its whistle and sped away.
On Christmas morning, my little sister Sarah and I opened our presents when it looked as if everything had been unwrapped. Sarah found one last small box behind the tree. It had my name on it inside with the silver bell. There was a note, "Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Fix that hole in your pocket," signed Mr. Seat. I shook the bell. It made the most beautiful sound my sister and I had ever heard. But my mother said, "Oh, that's too bad." "Yes," said my father, "it's broken." Well, I shaken the bell. My parents had not heard the sound.
At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell as the years passed. It fell silently for all of them. Even Sarah found one Christmas that she could no longer hear its sweet sound. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me as it does for all who truly believe.
It does for me, and I forgot to bring it in here.
If you want to go get it, it has a little CD in it or whatever, and you can listen to the music as it
Believe in the magic of Christmas.
when it plays it, it'll play music and read it at the same time.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification button, and always stay posted for if you like, subscribe, and share. You'll always stay posted when we post a new video.
Good job. All right, you heard her. Sign
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.